Okay. Ayan, please introduce yourself to the board.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Ayan. I was born in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. I did my schooling from Sanskriti School, New Delhi, and my graduation in electrical engineering from IIT Delhi. In my free time, I enjoy playing chess.
Playing chess.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me how many grandmasters are there in India?
Sir, there are 79 grandmasters now.
Are you sure? 79.
Sir, as far as I can recall, Pranesh M was the 79th latest grandmaster a few days ago.
Just check up on that. I think he was the 77th. But anyway, just check it up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, tell me how many crops have been recognized as GM, genetically modified. How many crops have been recognized in India?
Sir, I think there are now two recognized crops after GM mustard has also been recognized.
And what was the first?
Sir, GM BT cotton was the first, sir.
That's right. Okay. What is the process by which it is recognized?
Sir, as far as I understand, the Genetic Engineering Appraisal Commission has to verify that it is safe for the environment, and it gives the final approval.
And is there any controversy with regard to GM mustard?
Yes, sir. There are environmental concerns about the GM mustard, that it may not be sustainable, it might deplete the soil of nutrients, and it might also be unsafe for humans and animals, sir.
So is there any legal challenge? Are you aware of any legal challenge?
Sorry, sir, I will check about it.
Okay. What is smart governance? Smart governance.
Sir, smart governance is an emerging concept which deals with effective governance by utilizing ICT, information and communication technology, by increasing transparency, digitization, and by also modernizing governance, sir.
Do you know that SMART is an acronym? Simple.
Yes, sir. I'm unable to recall, sir. Responsive
and transparent. So give me examples of each of them. SMART, simple, moral, accountable, responsive, and transparent. So we'll go one by one. Let's start with
Yes.
simple. Give me a concrete
Sir, one example is the GST, which simplified the tax regime by reducing compliance burden and simplifying the procedure.
Moral.
Sir, moral governance would be ethical governance where moral principles are followed. For example, preventing violence of any kind, ensuring there is peace and harmony.
Preventing what? Preventing?
Preventing violence, sir.
Okay, violence of any kind. Okay. Accountable?
Sir, accountable governance would be when there are responsibility has been fixed and there is answerability. So if some work is not done, the person is punished.
Can you give concrete examples? I've asked you for concrete examples.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, recently the Noida committee, so the GNIDA, the IS officer was punished because the order that had been given for the land, which had been pending for the last 3 years, that duty was not done despite the Supreme Court's orders.
So that is a specific instance of a person disobeying the law, isn't it? I would like something more universal. Can you give some example of a more universal? You've got the idea right, but can you give a better example? Because this is limited to one person.
Sorry, sir.
No, that's fine.
Sir, a long-term example can be that the parties in power are accountable to the people. If they do not fulfill their aspirations, they may not get voted the next time, sir. They have accountability to people.
Responsive?
Sir, a responsive government is one which caters to the needs of the people. It listens to their aspirations and does what they are demanding. For example, sir, if there is a demand for increased electricity in some area and the government works towards it, if, sir, schools are open for tribal girl children in such areas.
So far you have not given me any example of digitization.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay. The last is transparent.
Sir, one example would be the Right to Information Act, which allows for public scrutiny and to access certain information.
Right. Okay. Who is Alexei Navalny? Have you heard the name?
Sorry, sir.
Alexei Navalny. Alexei Navalny. Have you heard the name?
Sorry, sir. Not able to recall right now.
Okay. Tell us about VVPAT. What is VVPAT? What is the full form and what does it involve?
Sir, I'm unable to recall the full form, sir. It is a voting mechanism which allows the voters to vote, sir, via the machine system. So the ID is there, I think. Very sorry, sir. I'm getting confused about it, sir.
Okay. When is Engineers Day and whose birthday do we celebrate through it?
Sir, if I recall correctly, it is celebrated on birth anniversary of Sir M. Vishweshwarya.
That's right. But can you
Sir, I'm not able to recall the date, sir. Sorry,
okay,
sir.
my last question to you is about the Accessible India campaign. Tell us about the Accessible India campaign in some detail.
Yes. Sir, the Accessible India campaign, also called the Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, was an initiative of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment to ensure that all infrastructure is so designed that persons with disabilities, such as physically handicapped persons, are able to access all public places without any hindrance. For example, sir, creating ramps in all hospitals, ensuring that the ramps have the right gradient, they are suitable for use. Sir, one more example is a walking marathons which were arranged so as to promote the dignity and acceptability of persons with disabilities. Sorry.
So Accessible India had three verticals. One was built environment. What were the other two? Any idea?
Sorry, sir, not able to recall.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Ayan, good morning.
Good morning.
You've heard of economic diplomacy. I'll talk a bit about international matters and diplomacy. You've heard of economic diplomacy. What is it?
Ma'am, economic diplomacy, what I understand is promoting diplomatic ties based on trade and economic relations, import, export, etc. Ma'am.
And also inviting investments, promoting
yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Into India. So right now, do you think the the investment atmosphere in India is good, and is it easy? What is the ease of doing business in India for foreign companies, especially? Tell me something about that.
Ma'am, I do think India is a very conducive environment for investments. The labor cost is cheap. The compliance burden on companies is very less. Companies are able to start new businesses quite comfortably. And they are given all assistance, also given incentives also for greenfield and brownfield new companies and new projects, ma'am. So overall, I think it is quite well, and it is further being bolstered by various initiatives. For example, Invest India. Recently, different states are also organizing their own initiatives, ma'am.
Initiatives, but any but people still say, ease of business, we are way down, and it's always very difficult to get to meet all the compliances and to get the final approvals. So would you have any suggestions of how to improve this? Any ideas you think how this can be improved, and how ease of business can be improved in India for foreign companies?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think already a lot of steps are being taken in this direction. For example, a single window clearance. Ma'am, such systems can be implemented so that there is a convenience for the foreign companies. They do not have to waste a lot of time or effort in getting the compliances. Rather, if the burden of the compliance is shifted to the Indian officials, making it much easier for the foreign companies to set up business, that will greatly promote them, ma'am.
And also this, you must have heard of, shifting supply chains, supply chains, make in India. In all this, do you think foreign investment will also, we will be able to get the required foreign investment for this, for make in India, for getting the, shifting supply chains from China to India?
Yes, ma'am. I do feel we will definitely attract foreign investment. Ma'am, one reason is that companies are trying to reduce their import dependence on China and are diversifying from it. For example, the 17+1 strategy. So, ma'am, companies are looking for other destinations, and India can definitely emerge as a player. Ma'am, in Make in India and other such initiatives, also we have seen support from other countries. For example, Russia had made investments, ma'am. So definitely, because of India's global position and its attractiveness, we are attracting investments in these projects also, ma'am.
China, you mentioned China. China
Yes.
has a huge, we have a huge trade deficit with China, and we're importing huge amounts, and many of our, products which we were making in India are now coming from abroad, from China. Do you see that? Do you feel that with this Make in India, this trend will reverse? It will or it won't? What is just in your assessment?
Ma'am, I think over a longer period of time, we might see an improvement in this regard. Definitely, as of now, we do require some essential products from China. For example, raw materials for electronics industry. But ma'am, steps are being taken to promote the domestic industry as well as to diversify our import destinations. So definitely, ma'am, the deficit will reduce over time, I feel.
And what about our relations with China? I mean, trade relations are very robust and huge amounts are coming in. What about our other relations? Just my last question will be on China's China-India relations. And how can things get better?
Ma'am, the major bone of contention with China is our land border dispute regarding Aksai Chin and other areas. Ma'am, so this will be the primary focus for solving the boundary disputes and ensuring there is.
Why is it not getting solved? Why is the boundary issue not getting solved? It's been pending for so many years.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the reason is China's reluctance to let go. Ma'am, they have their five fingers policy, and they, according to their map, Aksai Chin and other regions belong to China itself. China follows a very expansionist and aggressive policy, ma'am. So even it disobeys the law. For example, we saw in UN clause regarding the South China Sea. So, ma'am, it would require a lot of talks and convincing.
What is China doing in our neighborhood vis-a-vis India neighborhood relations?
Ma'am, one would be the Belt and Road Initiative of China, through which it is gaining ground in our neighborhood. Second, ma'am, it is following a.
How successful has it? How successful has it been?
Ma'am, I would say it has been quite successful. They have been able to construct a lot of infrastructure. Ma'am, even due to this, they were able to build their ties with Sri Lanka through their debt diplomacy, which has also rose their power in the Indian Ocean, ma'am.
But I think it's also backfired, no, a bit?
Ma'am, I think
the debt diplomacy, now everybody is now trying to get out of it, or
yes, ma'am.
So it has not been completely successful, and there have been issues now, and you can see all around how economic crises are coming in the neighborhood, Pakistan, in Sri Lanka. So China is, of course, what is the last question? How will this impact on India neighborhood relations? Or how has it impacted already with our neighbors, India's relations with its neighbors?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as you mentioned that countries are realizing this, ma'am. Bangladesh also did not opt for loans from China because they learned from Sri Lanka's experience. So, ma'am, definitely countries will tend to move away from China in fear of this economic impact. India can fill that gap. India can become the extender of credit. It can help the countries. And definitely, ma'am,
do we have that much money? Do we have so much surplus money?
Ma'am, we did help Sri Lanka during their crisis. Ma'am, we try to balance, ma'am, our own needs as well as our neighborhood. And yes, ma'am. So.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ayan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, Ayan, you were just talking of China. This post-COVID pandemic, a new concept is emerging. China plus.
Sorry, sir, could I request you to?
What is this?
Sorry, sir, could I request you to repeat that?
Okay. You were talking of accessible buildings?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Accessible India, accessible building, accessible public transport. You are electrical engineer.
Yes, sir.
And basically an engineer. So how do we make public transport, say city bus service, accessible?
Sir, one would definitely be that the portable ramps are being introduced in buses, which can open up so that persons in wheelchairs can easily access. Sir, other is through the the audio sound, sir, that buses can tell their destination that they have arrived, so that visually impaired persons can also access them. Sir, braille scripts on the footpaths, sir, and the bus stops can help a visually impaired persons understand the timings of the bus, the next bus that would suit them.
So
Yes.
next supplementary on this. You might have seen across, your father is in government service. Government buildings, the old buildings, are being retrofitted to make them accessible. What does it mean? They are being retrofitted to make them accessible.
Yes, sir. Sir, retrofitting means that to existing buildings, rather than reconstructing them, changes are made to them, sir. For example, temporary ramps can be created, or even permanent structures, which can solve the issue, sir. Retrofitting is also done, sir, to make buildings earthquake resistant. But in this regard, sir, ramps is one very important feature.
You are electrical engineer, and these days we are talking of green energy. And recently, Government of India also announced a big allocation to promote green energy, and hydrogen came in, lot of talk. Hydrogen is a fuel, green fuel. Now you are electrical engineer. Tell me one good thing. One good thing, it is green. There is no polluting exhaust. What are the cons, pro and cons? So you leave the pro. Tell me now cons. Hitch kya hai to adopting hydrogen as a green fuel?
Sir, the primary con I would say is that it is an expensive fuel, so it is not easy to use.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, second would be technology constraint to use it efficiently in all areas.
Okay.
Third, sir, I would say again that the different fuel systems or engines have to be developed to be able to utilize this fuel.
Okay.
Which would have to.
I'm giving you a lead. You need to generate lot of hydrogen.
Yes.
For generating producing lot of hydrogen, you need electrical power.
Yes.
Because as per the current technology, hydrogen, we produce hydrogen by process of electrolysis. You know electrolysis?
Yes, sir.
So for doing electrolysis, you need electricity. You are electrical engineer. Now tell me what the problem here?
Yes, sir. Sir, the problem is that to generate large amount of hydrogen fuel, it is not sufficient to utilize renewable sources such as solar. So we often tend to go back to the process of steam methane reforming, which is a highly polluting process, sir. The gray hydrogen that is produced for them. Also, sir, the capturing of emissions is not yet efficient. So some emissions are still there, sir, in this green fuel.
What is the color coding of hydrogen? You said gray.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, gray hydrogen is the hydrogen where no emissions are captured. This is the one through steam methane reforming. Sir, blue hydrogen is where emissions are released through the conventional process, but the emitted gases are captured. Green hydrogen is the hydrogen through renewable sources, so emissions are very low, sir.
You are graduate BTech from IIT Delhi. This is one of the top, or maybe the top IIT of India. You are electrical engineer. Certainly, it is very much in demand. You could have, taken it as a profession without any regret, any time.
Yes, sir.
But you decided to move, and you are not alone. Many IITians decide to move towards civil services. Why it is so? I'm not asking your personal situation. I'm I'm asking you to comment on a bigger picture.
Yes, sir. Sir, government jobs in India are considered more attractive. They are considered a more secure option for the future. So many people are attracted to it. Sorry, sir.
One is secure option. And next?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a meaningful profession. Many people feel they want to do something that has social impact and contributes to the underprivileged and poor people.
Okay.
Uh,
And your father
yes.
is an IPS officer?
Yes, sir.
How did he inspire you?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have definitely been inspired by him, sir. I have seen him very enthusiastic about his work, that to not only do the duty, but also to go beyond, to try to identify problems and to solve them. And I noticed that he was always very happy and satisfied with this act, sir.
Okay. So you have seen him as a sort of role model in your life.
Yes, sir.
But I'm seeing your choices. You have not given IPS as your first choice. You
Yes,
are
sir.
coming from a family of an IPS officer. You have not given IPS as your first choice. Now, this is a question which is addressed to you. Your case.
Sir, in my case, sir, after interacting with my father and learning about all the profiles, sir, I felt that as an administrative service officer, I would be able to work in a more diverse array of domains such as education, health, agriculture, and be able to make more lasting impact, sir. Hence the decision, sir.
That's good. Okay. Your mother isn't interested in capital market?
Yes, sir. She is an investment banker, sir.
She is an investment
Investment banker, sir.
banker.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, how is a healthy capital market good for growth of economy of a country?
Sir, a healthy capital market would definitely imply that the investors are more readily offering investments into various projects. For example, infrastructure projects. Also, they would invest more in government projects such as welfare schemes or other welfare initiatives, sir. This would lead to overall growth of the economy, sir. More employment will also be generated, secondly. And again, sir, investment would overall then contribute to economy's growth.
Okay. You discuss these issues with your mother?
Sorry, sir?
You talk on these issues with your mother?
Sir, I have not been able to discuss in depth, sir. I will definitely do so, sir.
Okay. So next question is, you have some savings. Where will you invest? There are various products.
Sir, I believe mutual funds would be the best option, sir.
You have given a definitive answer, best answer. Can you tell me something in justification of your answer?
Sir, mutual funds have not only one stock but multiple shares, sir. This ensures that risk is very low and returns are relatively high, sir. So it is a very safe option for investing savings, sir.
Okay, okay. Fine, Ayan.
Hi, Ayan. Good morning. Hello. Yeah, Ayan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you prepared with maths optional.
Yes, sir.
So who was D.R. Kaprekar?
Sir, Mr. D.R. Kaprekar was a professor of mathematics. He is well known for Kaprekar numbers he has given, sir.
Can you please maybe share a couple of Kaprekar numbers? Kaprekar, what was Kaprekar constant?
Sir, sorry, sir. I'm not able to recall exactly, sir.
Okay. What is culture of excellence?
Sir, sorry, sir. Is it a particular concept, sir?
What do you understand by it? Let's say if I use this word, use this phrase, culture of excellence, what do you understand by it?
Sir, what I understand, sir, is that a culture of excellence means a society where excellence is valued highly, sir, in terms of academic achievements or personal initiative and progress in these domains, sir.
Okay. Let's say because you've written that you've taught underprivileged children active Vidya. So I just wanted to ask, is teaching enough? Is teaching enough for somebody to excel?
Sir, I believe the extent to which teaching can contribute to a person's excellence will vary definitely in different areas and in terms of how much teaching is done, sir. Teaching is a sir foundation and a stepping stone for a person to attain excellence. But ultimately, that person has to do their own effort and make their own initiative to reach further levels, sir.
Okay. What is ring theory in mathematics? Ring theory.
Sir, ring theory is a part of modern algebra, also called abstract algebra, where sir groups and rings are sir algebraic structures. They have their unique properties. They do not have physical significance.
Yeah, please go on.
Yes, sir. So they do not have a physical significance as such, but they can represent unique and abstract objects, sir.
Okay.
So a ring is, sir, yes, sir.
What is the nearest year to us, which is a prime number?
Sir, it might be 2027, sir. I will check, sir.
Okay, I guess it's 2029.
Thank you, sir. I will check, sir.
And is it possible to find slope without using derivatives or limits?
Yes, sir. Sir, if it is a uniform slope, then simply by trigonometry from tan theta or by the vertical upon horizontal, we can obtain slope.
And Hikaru Nakamura, who's Hikaru Nakamura?
Sir, he is a grandmaster in chess. Currently considered, I think he's fourth highest rated. Considered one of the best players, sir.
And which country does he belong to?
Sir, he belongs to America, although he has his roots in Japan, sir.
Recently, he defeated an Indian, a very well-known Indian grandmaster. Whom did he defeat?
Sir, there have been multiple tournaments recently. I think he has defeated Nihal Sareen also recently, and he faced with all of them, sir, I think, recently.
Right. Okay. And one last question. If you have to overlook something, how do you decide that you can overlook something? What are your criteria to overlook something?
Sir, I think one factor would be the consequence or the importance of that event. Other can be the urgency, if I can postpone it for later, or if it does not need immediate attention, so that I can come back to it later.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayan. That brings us to an end of this interview.
Thanks.
And now we will give you the feedback. So you have a lot of things going for you. You have a good personality. You are articulate. But your GK needs to be strengthened.
Yes, sir.
If it is VV-PAT or GM Mustard or Alexei Navalny, these are very common things which you should have answered. Even smart governance, you were not nimble enough to give me good examples, right?
Yes.
So your nimbleness of mind is also being tested here. So overall, when is your interview? Have you got the date?
Sir, my date has not come yet.
Date hasn't come, so you have plenty of time. Please get up to date in GK. And since your father has worked in Divyangjan, he has been my joint secretary. So you are expected to know much more. So Accessible India campaign, you should know backwards. You should know the act backwards. Okay.
Yes, I will do so, sir.
Please do. And also the police wala questions. You need to police reforms and so on. Right? So you do excellently. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan, overall very good, but again, some brushing up of information and facts, and ease of doing business and how you can facilitate, what are the options open, what are the latest schemes that have been put in place. And in general, you need to know a little more about what is happening in India, especially if you want to be in the IAS. Various government schemes, all of those you have to, not only for business, but for everything else as well, you have to brush up your facts. But overall, all good, and you're looking a little nervous. There's no need to be nervous. Take a deep breath and give all your answers. Overall, you've done a good job. All the very best.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, Ayan,
yes, sir.
You come from one such family. Many in Delhi will be knowing. Your father was in Delhi for quite some time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your mother was also professionally active here for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
That's right. So you shouldn't be surprised if there is somebody in the interview board who knows you through your family.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ordinarily, what will happen in a situation like this, He may participate in the interview, but he will withdraw from marking.
Okay.
Right? But when he will participate, he or she participates in the interview, rest assured there will be question from your family side. Your mother is in capital market. She is an investment banking professional. Your father is a police officer. He has held many assignments in Delhi. He is holding a sensitive assignment in Bhopal. You are from Madhya Pradesh. You are an IITian. That to one of the top IITs, the very best IIT. Someone may say IIT Delhi, someone may say IIT Kanpur, or someone may say IIT Mumbai, but it is certainly first two or first three.
Yes.
Electrical engineering is not an unknown kind of engineering, but you still decide to make a switch. So these are the things which will come in the mind of some or other board member, and there will be questions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you be well prepared on this. Capital market, how the capital market works, how the capital market can be regulated, should be regulated, how it is exploited. There have been many scams.
Yes, sir.
How manipulated. And same with the police. Police reforms is one thing which is on the top of everybody's mind.
Yes, sir.
Our chairperson also mentioned police reforms. And then there can be something very specific to the Madhya Pradesh, the policing in Madhya Pradesh, administration in Madhya Pradesh. Because you come from one such family.
Yes, sir.
To be very prepared, well prepared on this. And थोड़ा flow अपना ठीक करो बोलने का. And head movement को restrain करो. Head movement ज़्यादा है.
Yes, sir.
It distracts.
Okay, yes, sir.
Every time आपको ऐसे करने की जरूरत नहीं. वो हल्का सा आपके चेहरे पे एक्सप्रेशन आएगा, उससे बोर्ड मेंबर समझ जाएगा कि you have understood the question.
Yes, sir.
You don't prove it by making lot of head movement that I am understanding.
Yes, sir.
आप समझ रहे हैं ना? हल्का सा
हाँ, sir.
हेड मूवमेंट ठीक है, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा हेड मूवमेंट should be avoided because it distracts.
Yes, sir.
हाथों का बहुत मूवमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए, हेड का बहुत मूवमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए. और हाथों का बहुत मूवमेंट का मतलब ये भी नहीं कि आधे घंटे तक ऐसे बैठे हुए हैं.
Yes.
हल्का मूवमेंट आप कर सकते हो, लेकिन ऐसे वैसे मूवमेंट नहीं करना है. अगर कोई चीज आप समझ रहे हो, यू वांट टू कन्वे इट, तो आप हल्का सा हेड मूवमेंट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन मेक ए माइल्ड जेस्चर, बट जरूरी नहीं बहुत ज्यादा प्रोमिनेंट हो जा रहा है.
Okay, yes, sir.
वो जो है वो चीज डिस्ट्रैक्ट करता है. ठीक है. तो
Yes, sir.
प्रैक्टिस करो. यू आर ए गुड कैंडिडेट. यू आर क्वाइट वेल इन्फॉर्म्ड. थोड़ा ब्रश अप करना है अपना करंट अफेयर्स, करंट नॉलेज, or things which emanates from your detailed application form. Everything which is mentioned
Yes,
here
sir.
can be source of questioning. इस पे अच्छे से
Yes, sir.
तैयार कर लो. ठीक है. Best of luck. You can do it. You have.
Thank you, sir.
You have potential to clear it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, date has not come yet.
Okay, sir. ओके ठीक है. तो बाकी वही करंट अफेयर्स तो प्रैक्टिस रखने, दैट इज द मोस्ट एसेंशियल थिंग. आपका जैसे डाफ में देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पॉइंट्स टू आस्क अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, लेकिन करंट अफेयर्स में आप थोड़ा फंस रहे थे ना, तो इसीलिए यू नीड टू बी वेरी श्योर अबाउट करंट अफेयर्स. तो एक ही चीज करनी है. ओके.
Yes.
थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Best of luck. All the best.
If you have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
पूछना चाहते हो?
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.